How's that? I'll start over. I'm Maureen Grudzinski, Dimensions of the Supernatural. And a little witchy. I'm here by myself tonight. Well, not completely, but I'm waiting for Erika. And Anthony is at Port Mifflin with Ron and Lourdes and the UK team. I am waiting for one of the most amazing people I know, Erika Otte. She's also known as Official Glamour Ghoul. I'll tell you a little bit about her. I met her, I think it might even be 1 year ago this part of the year. She is a barber. She created her own beard balm line. She is a model. She is an actress. She opened her own barbershop, and I think she opened yesterday. She's also opening a new witchy store. She is in Maine. She's a paranormal investigator, and she has the most amazing personality, super upbeat, very positive. I couldn't say enough about her, and I can't wait for her to join us. She's become a really good friend. Hi, guys. Who do we have? Thanks for saying that, Todd and Carmela. I'm glad to be back. Feeling a little bit better, but didn't want to miss the show. Hi, Charles. Hi, Ron and Jenny. I don't know who else we have here. I'm trying to scroll. Hi, Bobby. Yeah, there was no sound. I'm an idiot. How's everyone else doing? Let's see, what else? So yeah, I haven't been feeling well, and I apologize that I've been kind of MIA. Couple things going on, but we're working on them, so hopefully things will get back to the way they were. What's anybody doing any investigations lately, or anything that you want to share or talk about? Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate that. Thanks, Ron. I don't think I've done anything. I haven't really done anything. I've really been just trying to kind of chill out as much as possible. Oh, true. It is the White Hill Mansion Paracon on Saturday. Anthony has cannolis at the Shanley or Fort Mifflin. Goofy true. Let there be sound. We have too much light, I think. I always look like I'm washed out. Anything else? Anybody going to the White Hill Mansion? Anyone new joining us tonight that we have not had before with us? Oh, the PH Steakhouse. Nice, guys. I wanted to go to the PH Steakhouse. I think that would be cool. I don't know if I must have been back since I went to Pennhurst. Todd and my son and I, we went to Pennhurst, and we had some crazy stuff happen. I think, oh yeah, I did talk about the woman scream. Everybody was contemplating whether it was called a sound envelope or it was something completely different, but we did absolutely hear it, and it's definitely not a raccoon, because we did look for raccoon sounds. We actually have a raccoon that lives outside in one of the trees here, and it was definitely not that. Ron will be taking a 25-hour trek. Yeah, that's a tough one. Richard took a selfie with Anthony and Jenny. Richard says 1, 2, and the dead bell went ding for 3. That's cool. I love that. I love the dead bell. Yabba dabba boo time. Mm-hmm. That was at PHC house. Oh, that's cool. Oh, The War in Heaven. I started reading it, and my eyes were not able to let me do anymore. I need to get back to it. I apologize on that one. I feel like I can't see. I was getting really bad migraines on the left side of my head, like in the corner of my left eye, and then it would like explode into a headache, and then I would lose my vision in my left eye. So it's tough for me to kind of focus on things, which is kind of why I'm wearing my glasses a lot more right now. And then it would kind of like spread through the whole left side of my face, which is kind of why I think it seems droopy. I don't know. Weird things happening. Weird. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Burlington Prison Saturday night. You believe, is my Todd going without me? Because that would be really bad. I can't take any kind of like those things because I'm close to having kidney failure. I do take it once in a while if I start having heart issues, though, like the baby aspirin. Yeah, I know. Everything all at once. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. Yeah, I accept prayer. Thank you. Oofy sent me something about the War in Heaven. Oofy, if you want to put the link in, we can always talk about that on a show. I love that stuff. I think I sent a message back to her saying that I thought it was, hey, Survivor Circle. We have a new subscriber. Awesome. We're just waiting for our guest. She's putting eyebrows on, apparently. You can't do anything without eyebrows. But we're just talking about some of the things that are going on with Paracons. And if you want to share the link to that, we can have a big discussion. I would like to talk about that. I asked her if it was like the balance between, good and evil or whatever. Thank you, Todd and Carmel. I appreciate that. Kind of like the movie Legion, if that was it. And she said that was kind of a bit about it, but she sent me the link. So I'm trying to read that. I think that's super interesting, but the War in Heaven. Okay, so there's the link if anybody's interested in reading that. And then if we want to we can even have a discussion on that. We can put the link out to get into this. And if we can do like 10 people at one time and we can have people come in and out if they want to talk, that'd be kind of cool. I'd be up for that. I don't know if anybody's really done anything like that. Hey, Lady Spitfire. Is that different than Lady B? I don't know. So I don't think anybody's ever done something like that where we kind of like have a panel and we discuss and then, people out so more people can come in. I think that would be really cool. Okay, she's stuck on a page. Let me just send her the way in. Would you guys be up for something like that? Yeah, like a Dots book club or something. I'd be totally down for that. Hmm. Let me just re-invite her. Okay, I thought I lost you guys. So what do you guys think about that? Would you like to do something like that? I like doing different things. I think it's really easy to do too, because it's the same link. I would just send it, and if it's full, you won't be able to get in, but we can kind of we can kind of stagger it. There she is.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hi.
Why can't I hear you?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Huh. Is your volume all the way up?
Yep. Hold on.
Wait, let me see.
Is that better?
That's weird. Huh.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
I can maybe because I have it on my phone, but I can hardly hear you. Wait, let me close a window.
Better?
I can hear you, but it's so low. Let me bring you a little closer. Okay, try again.
How about now? Is this better? Is this thing on?
Yes, but I can hardly hear you, so.
Oh, this will be tough.
How have you been?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I already introduced you and told them a little about you.
Okay.
Oh, they said use your earbuds.
I don't have earbuds.
You're killing me.
I know. I have earbuds in my car. I have earbuds in my car. I'll run out real quick.
Okay. This is how we do things. You're killing me, Smalls is right. So that's Erika. Yeah, we're going to take a small music break. So start getting questions ready. So the movie that she's been in, she was in Stab 3. She's going to be in Stab 4 as well. Her shop is called Seance Hair Studio. She's located in Maine. YouTube stream is very lagged minutes. Facebook is leading the pack tonight. Oh, Jenny, I'm always up for a snack break, girl. What are we making? What kind of snacks are out there? That's what we should start doing. Like a virtual snack thing. I hope this works because I don't want it to be like this all night. She's going to be a great guest. She's a lot of fun. You have a charcuterie board right now? You guys are fancy. It's like a Thursday night. A Thursday night at 10 to 8 with just the two of you. You have a charcuterie board. We only do that for Christmas.
All right, I'm back. Jeez. All right.
I love pistachios. I would be out of breath as well. Actually, I probably wouldn't have come back. I'd be laying in the parking lot. Is that better?
All right, is this working?
Is it better?
No.
Are you serious?
So, like, I can't. Wait.
They can all hear both of us. Now I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes! Yay! I can hear you perfectly.
I was like, this is going to be a really bad night.
Yeah, that was so stupid. I heard you last time, though, on my phone perfectly. I don't know why I couldn't hear you.
I think there's like a slight delay, but I'm good with whatever we get at this point.
Probably.
Okay. So I told them the basics, and I said we met about a year ago, like around this time, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was the summer. Yeah. Last summer, I think.
I don't think it was like May.
It was definitely summertime because I remember it was hot.
I think it was just hot, but it was like between April and May.
I think so.
But we met and we were filming something, and I had to be blindfolded. The thing we shall not name. And April, and she had to take the blindfold off me so I could do the psychic mediumship. And as soon as she took the blindfold off, I was like, we're going to get along immediately. And we were like two little kids running through this place.
It was so fun. So fun. I still think about it.
I do too, all the time. Like, that was one of the best days I've had. But that's how we met.
So like we had free range of the place, you know? Yeah. Feeling all the things.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I wish we had that footage.
I do, I think.
I know. I wish we had the footage, but
Yeah. But
you know,
so then we continued to be friends after that, and
yeah,
it's like kind of like girl power. It's just a girl power thing, and I think that we both
it
support
is.
each other in whatever we do.
100%. You need that.
Yeah. And I wish you didn't live so far away.
I know, but I really don't though. It's like I'm
So
close, but I'm far at the same time.
yeah, for all the people who don't know, I'm in Pennsylvania, obviously, and Erica is in Maine.
Yeah, pretty much New Hampshire, pretty much
Right.
on the border.
So what do you want to talk about first?
I don't know, whatever. I'm ready for whatever.
Okay, so
I have a lot going on.
I know you do. I told them that you were a barber, a model, an
Oh
actress.
my God.
You started a beard balm line,
Oh
a
yeah.
paranormal investigator. Now you opened your own barbershop called
Yes.
Seance Hair
Yeah,
Studio, and now you're opening your own witchy shop.
I am.
So much.
Um, yeah, so being a barber is my professional, profession, but all the other things, all the other things are just like my creative outlets that I have to do or I will go crazy.
So I was just going to ask you what Todd and Carmela said, and then we'll go to Oofy's questions because it is a paranormal show. I guess we should start with the paranormal.
Yes.
So Todd and Carmela
Yeah.
want to know, how did you get involved in paranormal investigations?
How did I?
Mm-hmm.
So ever since I was little, I've been super into, I remember watching White Noise. Do you remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I remember watching White Noise and I was like, this is so amazing. This is so interesting. I want to do my own paranormal investigations. So when I was little, I went up to the local cemetery with my brother and I was like, we got to grab an audio recorder. We got to try this. So we went up there, we did that, and of course we got nothings. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. But I don't know. And then I got a little older and, YouTube's a thing, obviously. So I was like, I really want to do my own paranormal investigations and make it real, though, like real evidence, not faked, not,
Not not
setting
demon.
things up. No, like a demon attacked me. Watch, like, no. I I want to make it real and I want to show real things. So, yeah, I really just want to bring a realness to paranormal investigating instead of all the stupid YouTube sensations that are like just fake and sensationalized. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you started, um, you do things a little bit differently than a lot of people do. You and some of your girlfriends, you go to places that are haunted and
yeah.
you model first,
Yeah.
and then you do your paranormal investigations, but your modeling's a little risque.
Risque. Yeah.
They're sexy people.
Yes.
You got to check this out.
I think it's a really, really cool idea to kind of, mix like decaying and like deteriorating places with beauty, I guess. I think it's a really cool mix and people
Yeah.
find it interesting. So, and
Well,
I
I
love
mean,
just creepy horror places, so it's like great backdrop.
yeah, I mean, there are some people who would embrace it, and there are some people that are totally against it. But in reality, why would you be against something like that? Because it's not, I mean, it's risque, but it's not like
Yeah.
nudity. And
Right.
you're getting like the beauty of the female body and women who are not doing it in a sleazy way. And
Right.
they're putting the beauty and life into something that is no longer beautiful in the way that it could be, but it still has a beauty of the aging of something with the life and
Yeah.
beautiful of someone who has not aged. So it's kind of like an oxymoron almost.
It's kind of like these places are me on the inside, and then there's like me on the outside. You know what I mean?
It's
Because I
still the
like
same
such
beauty,
like
though, trust me.
it's like I love these like dark, morbid things, and it's like you wouldn't really think that I like all that stuff, you know? But whatever.
I don't know. I think a lot of people look at me and they think that I'm like the Marilyn Munster of the Munsters, but really
Yeah.
I'm the Lily. If they ever saw me on certain days, like I'm everything in my closet's black. Like I
Yeah.
wore it today because it was the first thing I grabbed out of the drawer.
Right. And black is all of the colors combined. So
Yeah, yeah. It's just easier when you have to find something to wear. Everything's black, it all matches. And unfortunately, there are too many dogs in this house, and they come with me everywhere with their fur.
no, it's so chic. Like black is just the Rolling Stones had it right when they said paint it black, you know?
Yeah, very true. I mean, I think that it's classy. It's something that you could dress up, you could dress down. It's all about,
Yeah. It goes with everything.
and it fights off negativity.
True. You don't want to see black shadows though, black figures. Sorry,
I
have to
think
fix
I
my.
think even that, like the shadow people, they're not always what you expect.
Or yeah, you know more about that than me because I feel things. I don't see things or hear things or um but you see things and you
No,
hear
you
things.
do, because
No, I do.
yes, you
I
do.
want to. Teach me.
I will. I'll absolutely teach you anything. Okay, let's see. So Ufi wanted to know about what was it? I'm trying to do this without a mouse because my mouse died. Um, she wanted to know about the Witchy store.
Oh, the Witchy store. So the Witchy store is just a idea at the moment, because I just opened my barber shop. So, and I'm actually still painting. I haven't even fully decorated, but I'm open. So, but the Witchy store will probably be, I don't know. I want it to be in Salem. I know that sounds so cliche. I want it to be in Salem, you know, but I wouldn't want it to like blend in with all the other stores. So it might be somewhere else, but I feel like it's a very like niche thing, you
We
know,
need
and I
them
want it to
all
do
over.
well. That's true. That is very true. But I want it to be a combination of like witchy, spiritual, occult. I want a little back room with like a true crime museum type thing. Um, yeah,
You're getting
I
into
know. I'm
everything.
like I have all kinds of crazy like ideas. I also want my own haunted attraction, you know, but I'm gonna do it. I said I was gonna open up my own barber shop and I did it. So
You did.
here we are. Why not? I know.
It was
It's
fast
been
too.
really crazy. It's been crazy though. I've been so incredibly busy. Oh my God. But yeah, that's just an idea right now.
Well, so was the barber shop, and look at how fast that came to
Right.
fruition.
Right. So I wish I had more to say about that, but it's all in my head at the moment.
Jenny said, oh, the photos must be incredible in those locations.
Yes. So if you go on my Instagram, official Glamour Ghoul, you can see all the pictures that I've taken in these places. I don't have pictures of all of them, but highlights of my favorite ones that I've taken.
I love some of the ones that you took in the churches. They're my favorites. And most people would make fun of me for saying that because I think I would burst into flames if I ever walked into a church. But
I say that too. But I didn't.
Yeah.
I felt a little hot in there, but
it's the way you're dressed, honey, let me tell you.
True. That was a sketchy place to get into too. It was like half abandoned, half not.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So Lady Spitfire said, my dream job is to work in a funeral home for real. I want to help the people, and the only funeral home in town has no female working for them. I want to open the second home. The other one has been here since 1900s.
Nice.
Oh, Survivor Circle said, Erika's an old soul in a new body. Live while we are here.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. I definitely feel like an old soul, 100%. I've always felt like an old soul my whole life. Thank you. That's very sweet.
That's so weird. So I just saw you as a burlesque dancer from like the 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, considering the things that I like nowadays, like that makes sense that I was a burlesque dancer.
Yeah.
I believe it. I love burlesque. I love the old school burlesque.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's a really cool. I think it's an art, you know?
When I went to Vegas, so I went to Viva Las Vegas. It was a big rockabilly weekender with burlesque performers, and they had a burlesque showcase where all the famous burlesque performers all over the world, they come together for this one event, and it's a showcase. So they all perform, and it's just so extravagant and amazing. Like it was just real burlesque. Amazing. Amazing. It's not your local bar where like people just show up and they're like, "Hey, I do burlesque." Like, no, this is legit. Like they make their own costumes.
Dita Von Teese kind of thing.
Yes, incredible. I totally recommend Viva Las Vegas Rockabilly Weekender for anyone that likes like the 50s especially and burlesque.
Never been there, but that's something I would go to see for sure.
It's amazing.
I'm using my phone to do this because otherwise if I respond here, I'll respond 700 times.
That's okay. I couldn't hear you for like 10 minutes and I had to leave and get earbuds, so I think you're good.
Ron from ERRT, who runs the station, said, make it the Witchy Barbershop. And Survivor Circle said,
you mean like combine them?
Yeah. Survivor Circle said, good idea, Ron. Maybe she can conjure me some hair.
Oh my God. There are probably spells you could do to grow hair. But the bald look is in, so.
That's true. Okay, so what made you decide to do the modeling in the locations before you did the paranormal investigations?
You know, I guess because they're just like they're awesome locations with they're just great locations. Like it makes the pictures that much more interesting. Um, that's a lot better than just standing in front of like a blank wall. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It just, and I'm spooky, so it's like it's just it's perfect. It's perfect.
It is pretty perfect. I mean, when I saw that you were doing that, I was like, first of all, this girl has balls. And then she's putting it out
It's
on Instagram.
scary. It is scary. It's not like, because first of all, you got to get in there. You got to find your way in there. And then it's like you got to change into your outfit and you got to hope and pray that nobody like rolls up on you. And it's so fun though. It's so like exhilarating and just like free feeling because like normal people aren't doing this, you know?
No. And not only that, but I mean, when you watch a horror movie, the most vulnerable part of the movie is always when you're naked in the shower. You're not that
Exactly.
you're not that far off. I mean, you're in lingerie or
No.
like little short skirts or whatever. So if somebody comes in, you have to deal with that. But they're there
Which has
already.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
never alone though. I'm always with someone. So,
right, which is awesome. But you
yeah.
can't see what's there or who's there.
True. Yeah, I know. There's definitely a risk in, but it's a risk even going into these places to begin with.
Right.
So why not make it even more riskier?
Just
Even
go for the
more
gusto.
risky. Even more riskier. I don't think that's the right way to say it. More risky.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
More riskier.
More, the most riskiest. You crack me up.
Oh my God. It's
What
when you're
would
breathing in paint fumes all day. That's why.
that's usually what starts it, yeah. Um, who was it that wanted to know? I think it was Jenny that said she wanted to know what was your favorite location in a photograph?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I've been to so many places. Um, like what's my favorite picture or my favorite place?
I think she wanted to know your favorite place. Jenny, do you want to? Hey, Haiti. Um, Jenny, do you want to elaborate on your question?
Because it's probably the same thing.
The favorite, yes, picture. Like your favorite picture.
Um,
Where was it?
oh man. Okay. Um, so there's a state school in Waltham, Mass. It's, I mean, the full name is called State School for the Feeble-Minded. So way back in the day, this school was built off of eugenics. So it was built off of the idea of like anybody who was inferior went there to get them away from society so they couldn't like reproduce and because they were believed to not be fit for society. So if they were like mentally challenged or if their parents literally didn't want them, they just dropped them off at this place. And it's a literal abandoned campus. Like there are buildings upon buildings upon buildings. And there are like wheelchairs everywhere. There are beds. Um, there's paperwork. It's like this whole other world that you go into and just you immerse yourself into this and it's just absolutely incredible. But that's probably my favorite place because you have free range there too. You can get into all the
Yeah.
buildings really easily and the history of it is just so sad. But you know, like me being an empath, it's like I feel a lot when I go there, and I kind of have like a special connection to the place because I've been going there for so long now. So, and I've taken a ton of pictures from there, so I would say that's my favorite place. I also love insane asylums too, though. Like those are my
I do.
absolute favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah, the history of those places are like insane too. Literally.
literally, yeah. Um, did you ever catch a spirit in like behind your pictures?
No.
Really?
So, but yeah, no. But I have done, I feel, I get the vibe of that place to be very, because the spirits would have been, like people who are mentally challenged or people with like mental health issues, or I get the vibe that that place, like the spirits want, they're very lonely and they want like love. Like they're so desperate for love. And
Yeah.
I don't feel anything evil there at all. Um, like they just want you there, you know, and they're kind of shy. But
Now, do you think it's
yeah,
like
that's
that
why
at every asylum?
no, because I went to Norwich. I went to Norwich Asylum like a couple weeks ago, and I went into one of the buildings and I felt like unwell. Like I did not feel good at all. I felt like I needed to run out of that place and never come back. I don't get that vibe at the state school I'm talking about. Um, yeah, Norwich was insane. It was like I walked in and the two words that popped into my head were crying and sadness. And then I
Yeah.
envisioned like an old man standing next to me. And I never just like envisioned things like that, And I'm like, that's weird. Um, and then a little later on, my friend that was with me, she can hear things, and see things. So she goes, I just hear screaming. I hear screaming. I hear screaming. And I'm like, it's weird that you say that because I feel something in here too. Like it was just very, very heavy. And we had no idea what this one building was. It could have been anything. It could have been like staff housing. It could have been whatever. Later on, I looked up what that building was, and it was the building where they would do surgeries and they would do all of the like mental health treatments, like hydrotherapy and lobotomies and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, that could have been anything. But like we both were just like so overwhelmed in that one building. And then we went to the other ones on the campus, and it was like we didn't feel anything in any of the other buildings. So it was just, but like things like that, it's like that's not a coincidence. That's
Did
how I know that I
anything
have
in
something.
particular happen in that building?
Like to me or in general.
Just in general, like because if you feel something really crazy in a certain building, like something could have happened in there.
Yeah, so that was the building where they did all of the like mental health uh what's that word I'm looking for? I just said it too.
Like the lobotomies.
Mental health treatments.
Okay.
That's where they did all the mental health treatments
So they were probably not treated well.
and hydrotherapy and electroshock therapy, like everything.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, no. Insane asylum history is,
Oh no.
oh,
I thought we lost you.
I'm back.
Talking. But now we're like in sync, so we weren't before.
Oh, good. Um, insane asylum history is just like, it's so amazing to read up on because they were treated like test dummies. So they were just like, hey, let's try this. Let's try a lobotomy. Let's try electroshock therapy. Let's see how they react. And it's just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, these poor people.
We had some wicked stuff happen when we went to Penhurst a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. What happened? I want to go there.
Like, we were in Candyland, and we were sitting in the basement in Candyland, and my husband was kind of sitting back that way. My son was over here, and another investigator, Cheryl, was sitting over that way, and we just went completely black. And my son was like, I can't do this, and the light goes on. and then he did it again, and I'm like, you have to just like start being able to see things around you. Just like pretend like you're in your bedroom and start to like develop the light around you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I had a baseball hat on, and I felt something like hit the brim and walk around it.
Whoa.
And I was like, I can't do this. And then it happened again. And my son was like, I can't do this, because he's like me. He's stronger than I am, actually. And I said, there was something that was like 10 feet tall that was just right up against me.
Oh my God.
I just kept the flashlight on, but I put it between my knees so I could just see a little bit of light. And they were telling us that if you clap, there will be a clap. So we didn't hear it out loud, but the other group did. So we did it like twice. And then the girl that was with us, she did kind of like the shave and the haircut, and it didn't respond back. And we were like, okay, we're done in here. We're just gonna, as soon as I put my feet on the floor and went to stand up, I threw up. And I didn't feel sick.
Oh my God.
Just threw up. So we get up, we walk down the hallway, and the other two investigators that were part of our team, they were at the crossroads, and they said, so we heard that there were witches or, whatever, there, somebody trying to summon Satan. And they were in one of the rooms in this hallway, and we're starting to walk down the hall. And I was like, it's not this room. It's not this room. It's not this room. And all of a sudden I went, it's in here. And I just walked in. And I looked down, and like, it's dusty in there or whatever. And I said,
yeah,
they didn't use paint, and they didn't use blood, but there's some kind of weird sigil that's coming up through the ground towards me, and I can see it happening. And I said, it's kind of like something like this, or like, I can't do this right, like something like this, or like this. It's like a sigil. I said, it's kind of like the lower keys of Solomon. These are the higher keys, but I said, it's kind of like the lower keys of Solomon. And I said, it's not like blood. It's not like paint. They didn't paint it like they're whatever. It's not a liquid, but it's some kind of odd dust. And they said they locked this demon in this closet. No one could get this door open. They don't know how it's closed. And I said, well, there would be another ritual done for that. And they're the only ones that can open it. So these people broke in, and they did this, the ritual to summon it. And then they did a ritual to lock it in. And I said, I don't think we should stay in here. So we get out of there. And then my husband said, oh my God, look at this picture from Candyland. There was this weird beam of light over me, and then like this weird thing sitting behind me. But then it looked like there was a skeleton kind of sitting up against the wall in the corner. We were stupid. It was actually painted. Painted figure. But we did go back anyway. But the weird part was like the beam of light, and then the thing kind of sitting behind me, because that's where I got sick. So when we go back, my son sat with the female investigator and her husband came with us. So the four of us are like, we're stomping down the hall. We're going to go see what's going on. We turn the corner and we hear them yell something. And when we come back out after we found out that there's no skeleton in the, sitting in the top corner, we turn around and we come back and we're like, what? And they were like, you're not going to believe this. There was a woman that screamed bloody murder. Like, it was loud. And we're like, we didn't hear anything. And they said it was as soon as you turned the corner to go into that room. So when I came back around, I was like, there was nothing, like no scream, nothing. And they were like, you would have heard this because we were right there. So when I got to the other end of the hall and we were kind of all talking, I realized that I turned my cell phone on to record and I never turned it off, which is what I do all the time. So dumb. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to turn my recorder off. I turn it off. I get home. The next day, I play it. And there were all kinds of like weird noises, like growls. We were in the tunnels. There was a growl. But my son and I, when we walked in the door, as soon as we got our feet in the door, the two of us were like, we don't like it here. And there was like a short part of the tunnel. We didn't go that way. We went the other way. It was really long. There was nothing down there. We said, we're going to go back and go the other direction. There was this swirling black mass it looked like a tornado with all kinds of shit swirling around inside of it. So Todd got that picture. So there was like all kinds of noises and growls and whatever. So I'm still listening to this tape. It's like recording. There's all kinds of like, I heard. And then we went into another building. I think it was Mayflower. And as soon as we walked in, I was like, hi, my name is Maureen. I'm here with my family and whatever. And all of a sudden I hear this shit. They don't want us
They were
here.
not having it.
No, they were like, oh, here we go again. These people.
I know, because so many people go in there.
Yeah.
They're probably sick of it. They're like, we don't want to talk anymore.
They didn't want us
there. We're sick of the living.
So
sick of the living.
So I'm still listening, and we get towards the end, and there are claps after we clapped that are recorded. So we didn't hear it loud, but it's on the recording. When she did shave and a haircut, you hear dun dun after it. So they were intelligent.
Whoa. Yeah.
And then at the very, very end, it's starting to be like we're getting ready to leave. And you could hear me talking about like the sigil raising and whatever. And then all of a sudden you hear them yelling to us and you hear really loud. Phone was in my pocket. Scream is loud. Didn't hear it.
Jeez.
It's crazy in there. Yeah, Jenny, those tunnels are freaky.
Any tunnels are freaky. So I have a question for you. What is the significance? It might not even be like an actual thing, but I've noticed especially with doing like the Estes method, there's a lot of whistling that comes through. Like, what is up? And I swear I heard a whistle. Like, what is up with the whistling? Is there like a secret significance? Like, I hear it a lot in EVPs,
I think the whistling a lot of times is just to let you know that they're there because they can't get like a full sentence out or whatever, but it might be yourself.
Really?
I know that sounds weird too, but I was doing something on my laptop one night and I was trying to get this page done. I was trying to do like a whole website in like one day. And I literally had my laptop flipped so that the screen was down on the bed and I was typing standing up. And I heard, and I was like, that sounds like a man whistling. And the only person that I knew
It's
of that
just
whistled
weird.
like that was my Uncle Gene, and he taught me how to whistle by sucking air in, not blowing out, because I was a little kid and it was too hard. And I looked out it was 3 o'clock in the morning. No one was up, and it was coming from the hall. And I looked out and I was like, I'm too tired. There's no way that somebody's here. I finished typing and I went to bed. The next day I woke up, I went to the bathroom, closed the door. I heard it outside the bathroom door.
Mm-hmm.
I opened the door, there's nobody there. I finally realized that that was a whistle to remind me of the whistle from the night before. I messed something up, and it was me trying to let me know to look at something I just did to fix it because I messed up. And then because I didn't fix it, it was me the next day trying to remind me of the whistle that I did the night before to go back to fix the thing that I was at.
Wait.
I know it sounds crazy.
No, I believe it. I believe it.
So it's in like
I know what you're talking about.
another dimension you
Yes.
trying to
Yeah.
like yourself hey, like that kind of thing. But in like regular things, it could be a whistle that like someone's whistling to you to let you know, hey, I'm here, but I don't have the strength to give you a full sentence, or I can't talk, or I can't whatever.
So I feel like a lot of spirits are actually not spirits. Like I feel like when we see somebody, like you know how the generic, oh, I saw a lady in a long dress on the stairs. I feel like you're not seeing a dead person, you're seeing like a glitch in the matrix. Like we are seeing them from their actual um like like they're living in their dimension, but you're just having like a glimpse of them, you know, walking up the stairs or whatever it is.
I'm starting to think that more and more actually. Um, like it's just an impression in time.
Yeah. Like they're actually not evil spirits like demons coming to visit you. They're just living in their own time and we're seeing them. So I wonder if people are seeing us,
Well, someone
you
else
know,
said,
and calling us ghosts.
like, are we the others?
I know. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like, are we the ones that are dead and they're the living ones just living in their house and they hear us like trying to conjure them up with our Ouija boards? I
And we look like idiots.
don't know. It's such
We're
a
just
cool, there's so many
stumbling around.
theories.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah,
Anybody in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you think
so many theories.
that we're like the others and we're just like bumbling around in somebody's house, or are we in, I think we're in a couple of dimensions, because I'm telling you right now, I have deja vu all the time. I think, I mean, like, I've had several weird things happen to me where I've counted out enough, you know, pills for a week in Mexico, and I've come back with, I didn't need them, so I went to put them back in the bottle. The bottle's not
Me
open,
too,
and then, it
all
was
the
missing
time.
a certain amount, but the bottle was closed, like with the seal on it. Is it a Mandela effect? Is it, I've lost my mind. I mean, like, Ufi said, good question. What do the living look like to the dead? Are we like Pleasantville? Do we look like Pleasantville? I don't know. What does everybody think? There's a whole bunch of people watching. What do you guys think? What's your, Erica's gone. Give me an idea. Okay, Todd, you're rude and you're making me jealous of your charcuterie tray. And I love that they cut the cheese out just say mom. The Others, like the movie The Others, where the people thought that they were being haunted and it turned out that they were actually the ghosts. Maybe I just ruined the whole movie for you if you didn't see it. I'm going to kill her if she doesn't come back. There she is. Ron thinks different universes. There are 30 plus levels of dimensions. You think so? That many? Come on. I know you guys are smart. I want answers here. Todd and Carmela say that spirits are playing games. I mean, are you talking about the charcuterie tray? Or are you talking about, like, I definitely think that when we sleep, we travel to other places. For sure. I definitely think with deja vu that's different dimensions. Maybe they don't see us any more than we see them. Possibly. So you think that there's like 2 dimensions and then there's like Erika fell off the planet, I think. There's like 2 dimensions here and here, and we kind of like slide between that and they don't see us. You know that they watch television? Do they watch Supernatural, do you think? How do you know that they watch television? They mention TV on your sessions? Oh, yeah. Do you think that that's why they mess with the TV so much? They find it interesting? They say the TV's too loud? When a car crash, they said exciting. Here she is.
Oh my God. It was just saying it kicked me out, first of all, and then it was saying I had no mic or video access. I'm like, what?
And it said the same thing. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Okay.
So we're talking about spirits and what they say.
I missed that whole thing.
Okay, so it says, you can't see the comments because you're on your phone. So
I think I can.
Jenny said, maybe they don't see us any more than we see them. Maybe they hear us. Oh my God, can you imagine if they hear us but they don't see us? That would be actually. And then RL said, I know they watch television. And Ron said,
maybe that's what the white noise is.
Maybe. Well, I said, is that why they maybe like play with the TV? You know, well, Carol Ann got sucked right in.
True.
Ron said several times they mentioned TV on my sessions. They say the TV is too loud. RL said they were watching NASCAR with Ron. Ron said, yes, they were watching the race a couple weeks ago. RL said, when a car crashed, they said exciting. Jenny said, good point. My TV gets turned on all the time in the middle of the night. And Ron said, is it an iPhone? I think he's talking about you.
I have an Android. The newest Android.
They're much better than iPhones, I think. And Todd and Carmela want to welcome you back.
Thanks. I didn't mean to leave.
I was hoping you'd actually come back because sometimes you can't get back in. So
Yeah, I remember last time something happened and I couldn't come back.
I don't know. I think StreamYard's a problem. Ron said, "Thank you for your patience." Thanks, Ron. So we've come to the conclusion that they do watch TV. So there's a point. I mean, so are they all men?
Yes. Some of them are rude. So what's your opinion on like rude things being said?
Oh, I've had a lot of rude things said to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, listen, you really shouldn't be challenging them or whatever. Now the dogs are
Right.
because my daughter is home. Oh yeah, they do say the F-bomb quite a bit.
Mhm.
People say don't challenge them or don't provoke them, but my theory is this. They want to be treated just like the living. So I'm going to give it right back to them. If they murdered somebody, they're not going to get the, oh, I'm so sorry, please excuse me, or I'm going to lower my voice to you or whatever. If you were an asshole in life, you're an asshole in death. And I'm going to treat you exactly the same as I would if you were an asshole here. How do you feel?
It's kind of weird, right? Because it's like you would think that if they were no longer living, then they don't have a brain anymore, and it's like, why would they still be jerks?
Well, it's not that they don't have a brain. They
I
have
don't
a
know.
soul.
Yeah.
I think having a soul is better than having a brain. And I think if they're going to be assholes about it, like,
Yeah.
if you're going to talk to people like shit and you
Right.
still know what you did, like if you were a murderer or a rapist and you're going to say, I'm glad I did it, you're going to be,
Yeah.
you're going to get it. You're going to get it right back from me.
But isn't that a weird thing to think about? Like how are they able to communicate words if like they're not living anymore? You know what I mean? It's a weird thing to think about because they don't have brains anymore. They can't think of words to say.
Listen, half the people that are here don't have brains and they try to communicate. Here I am trying to think of an answer, but really, when in all reality, this is a shallow freaking gene pool here on Earth.
That is true.
Boofy said, perhaps those that are responsible for transporting spirits to their intended destination are just not interesting enough to bother with. Thus, they remain as ghosts. Energy. Jenny said consciousness. Energy is energy and it's still energy.
Yeah.
Beautiful words are not truthful. Truthful words are not beautiful. Yeah, consciousness. Hi, friends. We were on different feed and like, where is everyone? Okay, Todd and Carmela. That's your karma for having your charcuterie tray. I mean, yeah, consciousness can be so even if you're like, say you're holding a pendulum, right? And you're asking it a question and you're thinking of the answer, it's going to answer whatever you want it to. If you're just thinking of the question, it's not going to know what you're trying to direct it to do. It's going to answer it the way it should.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in that case, it's the same thing as talking to you after and being a douchebag.
That's why, like, I go back to the whole, like, we're talking to them in their own dimension. And that would explain why they have words. You know, because like that would also explain like the get outs that you hear a lot. Like, well, I hear it a lot. I hear like get out, leave, blah, blah, blah. That would explain that too. Like if you're talking to an actual person in their dimension, like what if they're trying to like conjure up spirits and they're contacting us trying to conjure up spirits? And they think we're spirits and they're like, get out, leave, like, you know, and that's why we're hearing those things.
Oh, they're really stupid and scary.
They're asking my name a million times. What is going on here?
That one walking around naked looks really scary. Without those clothes on.
There's some half-naked girl wanting to know my name. Yeah.
In a haunted building.
Seriously. I'm going back to Norwich though, end of May to do a ghost hunt there in that same building. So we'll see how that goes. How far away are you from Connecticut?
Let me see. I think that what I want to, my next experiment that I want to do is go back to the same place. Like I want to start asking similar questions in the same location and then go back another time and do the same thing, like exactly the same way I did it the first time. You know what I mean? Just to see if I get the same answers, the same spirits show up. It's like almost 4 hours. That's not bad. But I would really like to do something like that just to see if it's. Oh, Todd said he did that at White. Oh, there she goes again at White Hill. And what happened, Todd? Or Carmela or whomever's answering for that question. I have a couple of different experiments that I would really like to do. Spirits can communicate in French now in Paravox ITC3 Pro. See, now we don't even need that because we have Jenny. Jenny was talking to the spirits in French. Jenny, was it French and Dutch? I was at a Masonic lodge and the spirits were talking to us in English, French, Dutch, English, French, German, and something else. And no matter how many times we asked them to speak English, they wouldn't change it until the very end. Yeah, the columns, it was French. That was really cool. And like, I know that there were paranormal investigators that are well known that say that you can ask them to change their tone, change their volume, change their their language. That's not true. They will not if they don't want to, or they maybe can't. Spirit guides will change. Jenny knows a hell of a lot more than people know. She's very, very educated and cultured and intelligent. Got a response from Commodore Thomas, is it Reed? On REM pod in basement last year. First time there, he died in 1788. Last Saturday, I did a solo in basement, asked same questions, and got dead belt. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Echo and reverb when auto is active. Um, the dead bell is like, for you guys that are not normally on here, the dead bell is like the coolest thing to use, and it will make you laugh your ass off. We always try and ask similar questions on follow-up questions to see if we get similar or same response. True. Yeah, when Todd and Carmela and I were at the Masonic Lodge, we were using the dead bell to play trivia with the spirits, which was really fun. Now I have a service bell like that. It's on the counter at a hotel. It rang on its own. Yeah, this is one of those service bells. It's kind of like kind of like a REM pod, but the bell rings. And when we were playing trivia, like I said, because I was using a Panabox that I got from Tim, that I bought from Tim Dalton. So I would hold that. They had, I think, Necrophonics, if I remember correctly, or Phasmabox on their tablet. And I would ask some questions, and then I would get the answer on the Panabox. They would get something, and then like I would tell them what the Panabox said. We would all comment on whatever, and then we would like laugh or something. And then when we commented on whatever it was, and you'd hear ding, it was really funny. We loved it. We had a great time with that. Asking if the spirits in the basement remember Ron and Lourdes doing DRV session in basement at White Hill. Got the response on the dead bell. I swear these spirits around the world know Ron and Lourdes. It's like wherever they go, everybody asks about Ron and Lourdes. They all know who they are. It's all tied to consciousness, true. The spirits gossip. Yeah, I think they do. I think we had something that was really funny. I don't know if it was residual though, or if it was intelligent. I'm trying to think of what it was. We were laughing because it was something that was hysterical. They love music. You're going to experiment and ask if they know me? No, probably not. I was actually laughing about that today and said that, like, where there are really no paracelebs, we're just like nobody is out here in a sea of people that just do stuff. If you're a celebrity, it's like the people that our parents know from old movies that used to go to the movies to see. Now there aren't any celebrities at all. I don't know, RL, what do you think that they gossip about? What did you hear? I love this. I love talking about this stuff. Nobody? Nobody wants to talk. And I don't know where our guest went. Yes, RL, I actually say that is the name that we shall not say. The name that we shall not say, or the show that we shall not speak of. Spirits be like, did you hear about so and so? Yeah, I could totally see that. Did you hear about what Goody so and so said next door about the frogs? They be changing those women. That Tituba. They were talking about the name that we shall not speak of, and they said that he was coming to the vulture mine, and they knew he was coming. I think that's more of like they just kind of know what's happening. I think Erika was abducted. I'm going to send her a message. I think she left us for good. This is sad. Jenny, you want to jump in? I'm not even going to repeat that one, Jen. It's a name that we shall not speak of. Yeah, I remember the Hellfire Caves. That's a wicked place. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably go there because I'm me and I'm very curious. Always have been. It's probably more like him shoving somebody in a closet and locking them in. That's usually his MO. I don't know. Anybody want to come in and co-host for the next half hour? Talk about stuff and things. A very friendly voice commented, it wasn't demons. What's everybody's like most terrifying place that they've either been to or that they're terrified to go to? Let's do that. She's gone. She's not coming back, I don't think. She is great. She's a lot of fun. She fell off the planet. Carmela says basement of White Hill. Well, aren't you going there? Easy. Rolling Hills Asylum, hands down, but Sweet Home Estates is no joke. Is there an IRS of ghosts? Are they supposed to pay taxes, Oof? Did you mean IRS or FBI? Francis and company were the original frat boys. They invented the Greek lifestyle. Oh, the IRS is scary. That's for damn sure. That's true. I can definitely tell you that much. Do you pay? Uh-oh. The big boss is here. I'm in trouble now. Sorry. Gotta go.
I seen you sweating because nobody was answering to your call, so I figured,
I was sending Jenny a link so she could come in and join.
Good, yeah, and that's what I was gonna do once I get in here. And yeah, so I don't know. I haven't had the scariest event yet, as far as I know of. My house is pretty good though, so there's that. But beyond all that, I have enough activity in my house to keep me busy for a while.
You have tons of activity in your house.
Thank you. I remember when you did a remote view. What was your first impression when you did your remote view the first time? First of all, I told you about the store just slightly. I didn't tell you about everything. And then you told me not to tell you about much of it. But as you investigated on a remote view, and this is when you were still in Philadelphia, right?
Well, no, I mean, I just live in Pennsylvania, so I was here.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, and you wanted me to read your house.
Yeah.
And then I just told you to just kind of relax, and I would get information as we were talking.
Yeah. And I remember you told me the color of my carpet, which you did not know.
Nope.
And you heard the hammering in the basement.
Yes.
Which I don't know if you knew that or not. But
no.
Then you saw the 10-year-old boy running around,
and there was also a woman who was a nurse.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was like it looked like the house was kind of split on an angle, and like they were living in two separate lives, but they were together in a previous life.
I think that most of my activity is connected to the land itself, not necessarily the house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is that the house was built in 1945, which there wasn't really anything to really build up in that situation. But if you look at the farming land that was here before this was a town, okay, it was all farmland. And we had mostly, I think Goopy picked up on some Norse language,
Yeah.
Which I'm Danish, so that would make sense. Of course, I can't understand Norse, but Goopy understood it. That's where the language was from in that area. And so they were talking about some farming thing or whatever, and like, well, that's kind of weird. So, but I have had a guy. My friend Mike was here one night, and we were in the back using the fire pit that I built, and just having a good time burning some scrap wood and stuff like that. And then I looked up at the stairwell window, the back side of the house, And there was this old man looking out the window at us at the fire pit, and it's like, okay, that's weird. And I said, Mike, look up at the window. Do you see that? And he did. He wouldn't
Yeah.
make up something like that. He'd say no if he didn't, but he did actually see him, and he described him exactly. And I said, we're the only ones here. How is there a guy in the house? So that didn't really freak me out, but it was like, okay, that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
So that explained that there is activity that I cannot explain. And I'm not
Well,
making it up.
Todd and Carmela wanted to know if your house is known to have activity before you moved in.
Nobody told me.
They never do.
No. And before, I don't think it was a law before, but I think now there is a law about that. If there's activity or if there's any kind of a death in the house. Now, the husband did die in the house. Okay. But he had some health issues. He was normal age, so it wasn't nothing weird. It was just he had a heart issue or whatever.
I was just like congestive heart failure, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and he had he had broken his hip one winter, and that's why they made the walkway to breeze through to the garage, so he wouldn't have to walk on the ice from the house to the garage. So they made the what they call a breezeway. And I use it for a storage room, kind of. So, but anyway, yeah. So he broke his hip there, which then his health kind of declined over the several years after that. Obviously, you have a hip problem, especially in the 70s or whatever, in the late 60s or whatever. Whenever he broke his hip, I would imagine that they didn't do much but replace it just so he could get around a little bit, And so I bet that he had a lot of things to deal with the pain and probably not able to deal with it, more or less, just suffer through it. So I could imagine that, and that could be where he might be some of the situations here because he did die here. So, but I don't have any problem with that. As long as they're not mean to me, I don't care.
Yeah, but that's how I feel. If you can coexist without having any problems.
Here's my bell.
That's exactly what the bell looks like that they have.
So I have it sitting on this table over here, right? I'm not playing with it, but that's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here minding my own business, and I hear that, and I look, and I didn't touch it. No one else was here, and I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, hello. Now, if you look above.
Why is everyone freezing tonight? What? Guys, am I frozen or is it just Ron? And RL, you're right. We didn't used to die in hospitals. There really weren't a whole lot of hospitals around, and we couldn't afford to get to hospitals. Solar flares that are causing everybody to freeze. So it's just Ron. Yeah. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I told you that I have issues with like electronic stuff. Bye. I don't know what's happening right now. Next contestant. Aliens? Could be. Could be aliens for sure. Anybody else want to try it? Jenny? Jenny's going to be the next contestant on Dimensions of the Supernatural. It's still going to be girls' night. So, how many people think that ghosts have something to do with aliens. What happened?
I don't know. Internet second time went out.
Everyone is getting thrown out.
Well, I'm complaining about that.
My phone's cheap Android. Oh, the spirits even told you that your phone was a cheap Android? That's what RL was saying.
Okay. Well, mine's not cheap. Mine's the $1,600 model. It's not cheap.
Mine, I don't know what mine is. It's just
S20.
It's enough to do some work on it and play a game here and there.
Yeah.
And
So
answer the chat.
what I was thinking of, it's the fire alarm. You see that gray bell there? That's what I was talking about. Okay, now that has a push lever on it, where in the 1940s and 45s, whatever, they didn't have a wired thing to the fire department, right? The emergency bell like that one, you push there, you would push it, and then everybody would meet in one place and get out of the house, right? So there is a bell in the basement, bell upstairs, and 2 bells here on this level. And so that would be so that everybody could be alerted, okay, there's fire here, let's all get out. And so on my digital recorder that I use on my fancy recorder that I have, there's that sound from that bell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do they make that sound with that bell?
Oh, look at this. We have a new guest host.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Sorry, guys. I was out.
I'm surrounded by beautiful ladies here. What's going on?
Aw, thank you.
How you going? How's everything going? I know I'm not a lingerie model at Paranormal size.
That's okay. She left us.
Never say never.
Oh, she'll be
Never
back,
say
I'm
never,
sure.
right, Maureen? Never say
That's
never.
right.
Could do
That's
one
right.
for ladies over 50.
Not yet.
Not you, me. Hey guys.
Well, I'm 63, so
I was
don't
gonna
care.
say, hey, it's me, Mr. Fuhgeddaboudit.
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So now, like we were talking about Maureen doing a remote view of my house. Now, you don't do remote views, do you, Jenny?
No, I don't do any views.
Okay.
No.
I like it would have been great if you said no. I don't do anything.
Right.
You see my shirt? Like, no, I don't do any views.
Science,
I
right.
do-
What does it say? Science.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got my protection right here.
Very nice. Very nice.
Archangel Michael watching over me. This is
Very
actually
nice.
from Bishop Long. The pendant is the chain is from Italy. Chain is a silver chain from Italy.
Cool, cool.
Chain
So
itself was $28 silver.
Nice, nice, nice.
And the pendant was from Bishop Long, I think. It was like $20-some. But he blessed it and everything like that. So
That's
I
really
figured,
nice, Ronald.
yeah.
I'm
I'll
not
put
gonna
it.
say anything.
Yep.
It only matters if it makes you feel better.
Yeah,
You know, it could
and
be.
it
I always
does.
tell people that.
Now you were talking about the pendulum earlier,
Yeah.
Maureen. When I'm using the pendulum, I don't make it move. It moves on its own.
It should.
Okay, I don't move
Right.
my hand like I don't move
Gonna
my
make
hand
you
like
guys a little
that.
quieter.
I hold it stable, and it moves on its own. Now,
It should move on its own. You
Yep.
shouldn't be moving it.
so I can ask it, is today a certain day? Is today Monday? And it would swing in a circle, no. Okay. And then I would say, usually I tell it to clear to stop it from moving. I say pendulum clear, and I say, is today Thursday? And it would say yes. Okay. I've tested this hundreds of times,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and I don't make it. So when I ask, am I going to go here? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? it'll say yes or no. Sometimes if it don't move at all, then it's maybe. You know?
So
you should-
the cool. Oh, sorry.
All right. When you're asking the question, you should keep thinking of the question instead of thinking about the answer. That's what I was saying. Okay, Jen, what were you going to ask?
No, that's great advice, actually. Anthony in my group is really, really good with the pendulum. And I asked him, like, how do you account for, every human has movements and things. Like, it's very difficult to keep still. And he said to me, I love this answer. He said, even if I like to think I'm being encouraged to move, like I'm like
in that
it's
direction.
coming through me to move in that direction. So he's like, people say, oh, you're moving it, and he said that's okay because I'm being encouraged to move it like that, which I love that answer.
What I want to do is set up a stand, just tall enough for the pendulum. I have one here if I can find it.
You mean like if you drink 20 cups of coffee like I do and your hand shakes?
Well, see, I have this pendulum here.
That's beautiful.
Amethyst.
Oh, Ronald makes them. They're really nice.
Really?
I do make some stuff, yeah. So,
he does.
But this one here, I bought at Gettysburg, actually.
Quite nice. I love the purple.
See, now, I can ask it now. I'm moving it, of course, because holding my hands up here isn't really that easy, obviously.
Right.
For a 63-year-old guy, it's kind of not that easy. But anyway, I can make it move any way I want. I could be blowing on it, making it move that way. But I'm telling you, I'm not. So I'm being honest. And I don't think if you're gonna be dishonest, no sense in doing this business anyway.
Yeah, that you make a good point. Trust is everything, right?
So,
like you trust the people. Like if Maureen's doing a pendulum, I know she's not moving it. I know she's not. Trust her completely.
Let's test this.
I always say, like, watch my hand.
Now you got a bigger stone there,
right? But honestly, like I don't even have to, because if you work with the right people, the people that you trust,
you're not gonna do it dishonesty.
Right.
All right. So.
Right.
Let's test
Who's
this
with
theory.
us still?
Pendulum is today Monday. See it in the circle?
That pendulum should just slap you right in the face for that.
Right. But you see it in the circle though, right? It started in the circle immediately.
Yep.
Pendulum
exactly.
clear. Pendulum is today Thursday. See how it changed?
Now, just so you know, every pendulum is different. So you should ask the base question, what is yes, what is no, and then ask a question to like totally throw it off.
Right. Right. And Ronald probably asked that before.
I paid $10 for that one there at Gettysburg, I think. At the table next to yours last time. Maureen.
That's a good price.
Yeah. So, but no, I think I put my trust in people that I believe in. Maureen's one of them. Jenny, you're one of them, of course. And everyone in my chat that comes and visits, I believe in what they're doing and who they are. And RL is talking about the app that we use called Parabox. And what's interesting about that is it was talking about the race the other day, a couple weeks ago, Sunday. My eyes started burning all of a sudden doing this. And anyway.
At least you're still here.
Yeah. And anyway.
I'm ready to drop out any second.
I was watching NASCAR and there was a big wreck, and they were talking about the wreck on the TV, and that was pretty funny. I thought that was kind of weird. We'll see that. I'm thinking.
Exciting?
Oh yeah, tell us what happened. This was NASCAR or something. And
NASCAR race.
Was that a Parabox you were using?
Yeah, Parabox. Yeah.
Okay.
The Parabox System 3 Pro. It costs like $20 for the program. Get it on my phone and I patch it through to the computer. And all of a sudden I got allergy problems. I don't know. Anyway, we were watching a race and I had TV on. I had it on mute and then it wanted it to be turned on. So I turned it on, then they told me it was too loud. So then I turned it off. But then there was a wreck and it said, oh, that's exciting. It had the cars smashing on each other, flipping and everything like that, and that's fun. They're all excited about that one. So now I don't know how they got that on a word bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
how can it respond to what we're doing on a word bank, or how can we be timing it just right to ask the right question on a
Time.
word bank?
Wait, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. What am I gonna say? Timing and relevant.
Right.
I feel like you
So,
have to say that like
For
every
all
hour.
parts of lasagna.
Yep. I feel like
yeah.
every hour, if you don't say timing and relevance, Ron and Lourdes
So
are
what's
like,
interesting was before, when I'm not a guest on Maureen's show here, I'd run the Paravox occasionally, and on other shows as well. I'll run the Paravox, and it'll say words according to what the people are talking about on the screen. Okay,
oh, that's cool.
so like Maureen had some stuff in her office there, had a pencil and pad that was there, and it mentioned pencil, and there was a pencil and a pad right off to her side, and I didn't see it, but Paravox knew it was there. Mentioned the cat. I thought Maureen had dogs, but she has a cat too. So.
I have 7 cats and 3 dogs.
Oh, there you go. So, but sometimes it'll respond to the chat, whatever the chat is, you know. So if you're typing stuff in the chat, it'll talk about what you're typing in the chat. Now, if that's a word bank that's all fake, like some people will say apps
Right.
are fake, it's like, okay, how is it responding to real time, comments in the live comment section? Explain that. Now, if you can explain that and debunk it and make it that it's no good at all, then yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
Right.
But
As opposed to like an obelisk where people read words and they're like basement and they're like, oh, I was in the basement earlier today. Like you try to like make your narrative fit the words rather than
you don't
the
want
words
to
fit the
lead
narrative.
not to lead the app necessarily, like in a court case. You don't want to lead your witness,
Yep.
And so you want it to be an honest, open answer.
Yep.
So when I'm talking to them, a lot of times I'll ask them if they're human spirits, and most of the time I'll get yes. Sometimes I've gotten no. It's like, well, where are you at?
Yeah, you're like,
And sometimes it'll say evil, it'll say Satan, things like that. I say, nope, they're not allowed here. And then they don't
isn't
hear
it so
anything.
funny when that comes up? We in an investigation, Maureen, we're always like, yeah, no.
Right.
Like we're like, yeah, no. Good try, Like we immediately dismiss it, right?
Right.
I mean, like I think I don't personally use one like an obelisk or that type of thing, but we used one at Burlington Prison where we're going on Saturday night. Frankie at AO and I used it, and I was standing in front of a cell of a really notorious rapist and murderer, and I was like, I'm not scared, talk to me. What's going on? Are you here? And, just talking to him. And he was like, you should be. I said, I'm not scared. And it said, you should be, like right away, like, kind of thing. Right. Okay. And, I started to walk away and I'm like, whatever, I'm out of here. And he said, come back. And it was like, wait, come back. Just kidding. And I'm like, that's really relevant, kind of thing. It really like was immediate and relevant. So that was a little bit like eyebrow raising to me, but
And I
generally,
I'm
not one to use one.
Right. I do like the Staticom process that they developed, What I like about that, even Paravox mentioned Staticom, and it said Staticom on the screen. It's like, is that a word they added to the dictionary before they made the app, or what?
Isn't that interesting?
But what was neat about one time, Ron was doing the test on Facebook Live, and I was in the chat, and I was asking about Ethan. There's a guy named Ethan here, deep voice, probably about 7 foot tall or whatever. But he has really deep voice in most of my vocal things in the apps that I use. And I can tell when he's there because I can recognize his voice. You get to know certain voices, and oh, you're so and so, whatever, whether it's woman or guy or whoever it is, you recognize that voice. And so, in any case, Ron had asked, is there an Ethan in Ron's house? Right? Then Staticom said, yes, Ethan is in my house.
Oh, wow.
And then also on the chat, on Facebook chat, my real name is there, right? And Staticom said my real name. And it's like, I can't even say my real name half the time.
Mhm.
Here it is. Here it is saying my real name, and it's like, how can I even read it? How does it know?
Right. That's pretty amazing. Pretty
So
amazing.
that same thing with Parabox. It'll say things that are, like you said, relevant, to your conversation. And I'm not making it up. It's not a scripted thing. It actually does
Right.
respond.
Right. It's not saying banana. It's saying Staticom. I understand.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, what I
You know-
what I am interested in
Sorry.
is, like what I said before with the energy. Okay. Now we were all asking, well, how are they talking if they don't have a voice box? How are they responding to us if they don't have a
Right.
body and all that? And that's all good questions, very good
Right.
questions.
Right.
But when you're thinking about that, think about how we are dealing with energy. Okay. I call it, many others do. I didn't make this one up, but I call it a soul energy. Okay. Now I believe that we have, and someone had written a book about this, and I've been saying this phrase for over 5 years, and I say this phrase called eternal existence. Okay. The human soul. Okay, we've been here many times, all of us. Now I'm not saying reincarnated necessarily. I don't
Right.
necessarily believe in the reincarnation way that most people do. Okay, I do believe in past lives. I believe in previous lives, but I believe we're all the same spirit in the different timelines. Okay,
Gotcha. Right.
so we go there. We, like my timeline, my human timeline here on Earth started in 850 AD. I know that.
Whoa.
I know that personally. Okay, I don't know how I know that, but I know that personally.
Wow.
What's interesting is that the Vikings settled in the North American continent, way up there near Greenland, okay, in that area, about 850 AD. Right? Remember the guy? Danish
Of
guy?
course. Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember his name. Starts with an F. I can't remember his name exactly, but it's a weird name. But anyway, they made their way down to where? Minnesota? Right? No, that's interesting. And here I
Very.
am. Here I am. I'm Danish. And where did I wind up the last 24 years? Minnesota. Of course, I've been all around the United States, but still, in this timeline, I've been all around the United States. In this timeline, I was in the U.S. Navy, and I was in navigation and quartermaster. Okay,
That's so
I
cool.
I directed the ship which way to go. Right now, guess what? Nikolai Janis was in 850 A.D. A navigator, an explorer. Okay, and he sailed the big ships, big wooden ships.
And when you hear that name, do you feel anything?
Yes, I feel like I was that person.
Right. That's where I was going.
And so,
That's where I was going.
and now I was born and gone and came back several times. All right.
That's
Now,
so interesting.
in my version of things, I always start out my life cycle, what I call it a life. This is a life cycle. What we're in right here. Okay. This is a life cycle, and my life cycle here started in 1961 as a child. Okay, I was born as a child and I grew up and everything like that. In the other times, though, in 850 AD, I started here at like 30 years old. Okay. Then
Yep.
I lived till like 80 years old or something like that. Then I died and I was gone. Then I come back in another time frame and I'm 30 years old again, but I'm living in a different part, a different place, doing a different thing. What happens in the space in between the life cycles is we're being programmed how to live. Okay? That makes sense?
It
No.
does, but before you go farther, I just want to grab you because we have comments about the Vikings part.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't mind,
Go
can I
ahead.
just jump in
Yeah.
with that?
Go ahead.
So RL, our friend RL, said the Minnesota Vikings, not those Vikings, were Templar Knights.
Yeah.
And Charles said Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red.
yeah.
And we were
There
talking
you go.
about Leif Erikson, right?
Yeah.
And RL said per the Kensington runestone. I guess they were Templar Knights. Interesting. The
Okay.
Minnesota Vikings, right?
Not the football team, no.
Not the football team, not the Lizzo song, right? The Minnesota
But
Vikings.
so anyway, we go away to be programmed for the next cycle. Okay.
Right.
Of course, in those early days, it was farming. Okay, you had to survive. So you had to learn how to farm. You had to learn how to make tools. You had to learn how to work the field. Okay. All that you didn't just learn. Someone
Right.
told us that. Someone, meaning the creator who made everything, and not to get religious or anything, but just trying to be, thinking about all the possibilities. We didn't just happen to be. We didn't evolve from anywhere. We were made like we are. But anyway, with the several different life cycles, we are doing the same similar stuff throughout our lifetimes. In the, I went from 850 AD to 880 or something like that, 890. Then I left. Then I came back at 910. These are times I know for
Jeez,
sure.
like that didn't take long. Like I
No,
thought you were
but
going to skip some time.
no,
Boy,
came back at 910.
jeez.
And as a 30-year-old, remember, I was 30 years old when I started out, right?
So wait, are you
Right.
saying that you left and then came back at the age of 30?
Yeah,
How is that even possible?
I don't
So you
know.
weren't reborn. You just started at 30.
I started at 30 with the same soul energy.
I mean,
Our soul energy
not?
is eternal. It's forever.
I
Okay.
absolutely. Can I read this quote from Upi?
Yeah.
Because I love it. I love it. I almost want to read it twice.
Go ahead.
It says, "History
Please do.
can be an element of truth wrapped in an interesting fabrication." Too. I love that. I want to put it like in my notebook.
Yeah.
History can be an element of truth wrapped in an interesting fabrication too.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Very
good
true.
It's a good story though. Come on
And
now.
RL said it's a great story. RL said the Kensington runestone was a land contract / grant from a local native tribe. Aren't they
That's
all?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a story we've heard before. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Anyway, the last date I have in my cycle was 1010. And that's all I know. Now, what's interesting
1010.
is
Like 1010.
yeah. And so what's interesting is when if you know who Joey Medea is, he has a show called Into the Outer Realms
Sorry, my
on
light's
his
going
own
off.
channel. And
It must be me.
Yeah.
I know Joey. I know
Look
Joey
at
and
that.
his wife. I know Joey and his wife
What a night.
Tanya. I met them personally. You know, I meet a lot of people. You wouldn't believe how many people I meet. But
See?
anyway, in this case here, Tanya was getting her certification for regression therapy. Okay, so Tanya did a regression therapy on Joey on the live show, on his live show, for everyone to see this amazing regression therapy, what it is. Joey was a 17-year-old or 16-year-old boy at the time, arguing about having to go on the wooden ship, right?
Oh, cool.
And they were going to Africa, okay? Now, I was a navigator on that ship. How I know?
Wow.
In the vision that I was seeing, I was on that ship looking at Joey on the pier, and he was arguing the point that he had to go. He got onto the ship, and I kind of like took him aside and took care of him, as far as making sure that he was safe and he didn't get hurt and nothing like that.
I'm so sorry about my lights flickering.
But
I was just going to apologize to you.
Like, why are my lights flickering?
I
I'm
don't
so
know.
sorry, Ronald.
I'm
my lights are going on
sorry.
and
I
off.
do that. I can't help it.
My
I do
internet went
it all
out.
the time. It's like, oh.
But yeah, I get my light doesn't flicker, but I got a shadow that goes in front of my light. I can't. I think I
It
mentioned
doesn't
that.
always, but I don't know. It's
But
a
anyway,
crazy
in
night,
this case
electronically.
here, I remember being on that ship, and I was kind of like giving Joey a good job where he'd be safe, you know, where he wouldn't have to be in the hole working with all the crazy people in the hole, but he could be above deck and be working with us, whatever on the surf.
What a good guy.
And so anyway, he survived until he got sick when he went to Africa one time, and he ended up dying in Africa in that particular story. And I was there when that happened on that ship. But when you have a memory like that, where does that memory come from? Except the fact that you were there.
I find that fascinating. I
Yeah.
love watching the stories with the children who are
Yeah.
like, you know, they know things that there's no way they could know at 5 years
Yeah.
old, you know, about the
Yeah.
Crusades and things like
Yeah.
that. Like, that's amazing. I'm
And
sorry,
and
we're
then
not laughing at you. We're laughing because Todd's saying,
I
what the
understand
heck
that.
is
I
going
see the
on in
light.
my life?
Yeah, I see the light. I'm ignoring. I'm
And no,
ignoring the light.
it's the comments that are making me laugh, not you. It's Todd. Like, what, everybody's
All
like, what the
I'm
heck is
thinking
going
about
on?
is, are
But
the children's names Carol Ann?
the
You like
point that
that?
I'm making is
You
that I
like
was
that
programmed.
paranormal activity at my house?
I was programmed for that job. Okay, now here's the case in point to my statement here. Is that when I went into the U.S. Navy in May of 1980, I said, "Oh, I wanted to do a job, but I didn't want to do anything with weapons, or didn't want to be a pilot, didn't want to be on a submarine and be under the ocean for 6 months. I wanted to be on a surface ship.
Right.
So one of the jobs I had an offer to do was quartermaster, which is navigation. Many people correlate quartermaster with supply in the army and things like that. No, quartermaster is navigation for the ship.
Yeah.
We did handle supply for the ship, but ours was mainly directing the ship, how to go, make sure everything's safe on the ship, on our direction, and everything like that. Now, how did I learn all that? Because I was always a navigator at some point.
That's true.
Okay.
You did
So
say
again,
that.
I was programmed to do that. Now I had to go to school to learn it in this timeline, but with my learning disability, it wasn't the easiest thing to do. But at the same time, I picked it up kind of naturally, like it's something I knew.
That's an interesting,
Yeah.
I
So
don't know if that's an interesting
explain how that
premise.
works. But I went to Africa twice. Okay, I've been to Africa twice. I went to Australia once. Okay. I was 20 years old when I went to Australia. I went across the international date line, got my shellback initiation, got my certificate for being a shellback.
Yes.
If you read about some of that stuff, that's pretty tough. And of course, I was only 18 years old, so it wasn't a big deal. I wouldn't do it now.
Right. No, of course. You'll do
But-
anything when you're like, yeah.
But yeah, so how would I know that though? How would I know how to do the navigation job?
I love the topic of deja vu. I could go on about that all day because it happens to me all the time and I don't know why. But
Same.
I also have I don't think I've ever told anyone, but this is like an ERRT radio exclusive. I once
You're hearing it now
you're
on
hearing it now.
ERRT radio.
Every once in a while, I think the wrong thing, like things that are really like I'll go to brush my teeth and I'll say, okay, where's the powder? And then I'll say, what am I thinking?
Well,
Kind
wait,
of thing.
brush their
Like
teeth
it used to
with
be a
powder.
tooth powder, right? And I didn't know that
There
at the time,
was.
and I looked it up, and it was like a tooth powder.
Wow.
But it's when I'm really not thinking, kind of thing. I went to look for powder, and I'm thinking, why would I have thought that in a million years, kind of thing. So I think it's fascinating, and I have deja vu all the time.
But I don't know if it's necessarily how we classify deja vu. I think it is a memory of what you've experienced. Okay? So when you think of the life cycles, you should consider a regression therapy with somebody that knows how to do
I would
it.
love to do that. And I hope that I'm cool in a past life.
And just be
I'll do it for you.
Just
There
be
you
open,
go.
be open and receptive to that ability and that gift that the person has. Like Maureen would be good, like you said. And so you might as well have it done with somebody that you know.
Oh, I
And-
totally would let Maureen do it. Like I said, I would trust her to do it. But
And,
it would be really interesting. We could share the results if anybody's interested.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We're
Can you
not doing it
imagine?
on here.
No,
No,
we're
not on
doing
not
it live.
here. No, I wouldn't ask you to do that. No,
Poor Ronald.
I
He's
would just
between the
ask you
two
to.
blondes with glasses right now. It's not going well.
I can't read what Oofy said down there.
Oh, Oofy. Which way is north? Oofy said, wait, okay. Oh, that was RL, not Oofy. Oh, it's good that y'all are on either side of Ron. Help keep him on the rails, she said. Yeah, no, it's true. You're surrounded, Ron. And it's 9:36, but still, I just want to get to the rest of the comments though, because people are nice enough to write them. RL said, imagine if the conquistadors arrived at Veracruz only to find that the Aztecs had been armed with crossbows by the Norsemen. Ooh. I love these, like, hypothetical situations you guys come up with. See, now I'm going to be thinking about that all night, RL. Thanks a lot. If you know me, you know me. I'm going to be staying up all night with that in my head.
Yeah.
Do either of us have a swimming pool in our backyard? Oh, that's
I
funny.
don't. So Jenny, you better have one.
I do not.
You have to go back through the pool to get through the ceiling.
Not a swimmer. I do not. That's hilarious. Let's see. Let's see. The veil is leaking.
Oh shit, it's leaking. We have to go now.
Carmela has it occasionally, and Todd occasionally. Okay, so you can ask them about that.
Okay.
Hint, hint, Ronald.
Yeah. Ask them about what? The deja vu?
They have deja vu themselves. Okay. Yeah. There's. I mean, we could do like an 8-hour show on that topic. So.
Oh yeah.
So
well, I normally have a 2-hour show, but I'm willing to go over.
When it gets late, we all get punchy, right?
Yeah.
But does anyone have Fuhgeddaboudit?
What a good way to end it.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if Anthony came in like right now? He'd be like,
I really thought he was gonna like just jump in and be like,
what's going
hey!
on? from the casement at Fort Mifflin.
So I really think, and this is just my theory, that deja vu is like you're either a couple seconds or a couple days or whatever. It's just a different dimension, like your couple dimensions in just your, like, I think we have a couple of lives and we're just living them slightly different.
Interesting. I had a quick story before we.
Why not? That's that's as good as theory as any that I've heard.
Yeah, really quick story before we go. I don't know if any of you know I'm a gold prospector. I mentioned that before, right? And now I haven't been able to get into the river because of my leg issue with the open wound, and it's healing finally, but I can't be in water with that situation. But anyway, when I went to the thing called Nugget Lake in Wisconsin, and I stayed in a cabin for the weekend, and I went into the water and I found some gold like you wouldn't believe. But anyway, don't remember that name though. I always say No Tell'em Creek or No Tell'em Lake or whatever. Anyway, I was in this cabin before I was trying to find the cabin. I was trying to find the entrance to the park. I was driving around in circles. I always do that when I'm driving. I always drive in circles or square, whatever you want to call it. But as I'm driving, I see this light from a bar. Okay, I'm on the highway. I see this light on the bar from a distance. It's like the song in Hotel California. And turns out I got 3 different radio signals in that area from 3 different areas, and they were all playing Hotel California at some point. And I kept seeing this light like 3 times over. I seen this thing, and wait a minute now, I got to get to my. I don't know if anybody ever had that problem where they keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and you see it, multiple times, and it's like, why? And I don't know if that's weird. I don't know if that's deja vu or what the heck that is, but it's just freaky.
That's very freaky.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm hearing real song on the real radio in 3 different locations. Same location for me, but it's coming from 3 different locations. Like, didn't they just play Hotel California?
Todd and Carmela have a quick question. We can end on it if you need to, because I know Bobby's going to kick us off. He's going to be like, we're going to get the hook soon from Bobby. I'm not in charge here, just so you know. So Maureen, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Somebody has to be.
I just took over. I'm like, we have to get going soon.
I would want to find out if they have past life. Yeah, it's not really necessarily totally hypnotized. It's just kind of like
a regression.
Yeah, it's through a regression, but you're kind of. You're not even sleeping.
you're in a meditative state, basically.
It's a deep meditation.
Yeah.
It's more
Is it
like
a deep relaxation or meditation?
it's like a deep meditation, and you go through like you're so deeply meditated that your whole body is completely relaxed, and it's like a suggestive state where you're being walked backward
Mm-hmm.
and into like a certain crack in a tunnel, and that's how you can see where you're at. And then
That is
you
really cool.
would be asked questions like, what do you see around you? Can you look in a mirror or in a window or a puddle to see what your face looks like? Can you explain, what kind of clothes you're looking at? Look down. It's weird because the whole way I got started with this was I was walking down the street and I looked down and I saw the clothes I had on that day. And then I looked down again because I almost tripped, and I had a hoop skirt on with like the tied up princess heel boots. And I was like, what the hell? But I knew I was inside of the body because I had like the skirt on with the shoes on.
Now that would be weird.
Yeah, it was weird. So it happened again when I came home that same day, same outfit. Like my stairs went from being like thicker stairs to being wrapped stairs, and they were kind of thin, and it just, and I almost fell down the stairs because I like jumped, but I said, I think I need to figure this out because I know it's a past life since I'm in the body. And I looked up past life regressions online, and I did a very detailed one. And I thought, am I even going to wake up? Am I going to come out of it? I have to try it. And this guy, it was just amazing. I saw myself in a store window. I heard my own voice. Everyone was speaking to me. I saw where I lived. I got to know the name, and I even heard my own name. So I looked it up online and I found myself. And
oh wow!
When you can do that, it makes it so much more real. And I got to like see my children. I got to see my wedding. I got to see who I was married to, and
Nice.
it still gives me the chills.
Right now,
The fact that you had to look it up is so interesting because like it's not somebody you knew or even that's so cool.
It was me. And when I looked in this store window, like a lot of my characteristics were the same. So I knew it was me. Like, you don't just make this stuff up. It's
right.
You had that self-awareness, like that's me in the window. Like that's
your
me
consciousness. It's your consciousness.
That's so cool.
And like it just, and I feel this connection to this person, and like I was crying when I came out of it because that was me as that person, and the name like clicked a little bit, and it just felt so real, and
it was real.
So there's a question for Jenny.
One must usually take a vote of consciousness. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, for sure. Does it help? I mean, I know we have to go, but does it help if you're easily hypnotized?
I don't
Or does it
think
matter?
I don't think that matters. Like I've never tried to be hypnotized, but I think it's like I'm terrible at meditating too. But I just really wanted to know so desperately that I just listened to this guy's voice. I think it's the person you're with, if you trust them and you listen to their voice and you're very calm and you just really want to do it. I think it's amazing. And I've had it done a couple times after that. And I just,
that's amazing.
Everything made sense after that.
That's why I think.
Well, we got to do it. We got to do it.
Jenny should work that out with you, and then you guys share the results, whatever you find out.
I agree.
Do a recording of it, audio recording of it, and then you can take notes and write down the key points of what you find. And if you find nothing, then you find nothing, but you don't know until you try it.
You're never going to find nothing.
Right.
You're never going to find nothing
Right.
because everyone
Wow.
has had past lives. Look at RL with all the crazy information. They're so smart. Directed hypnosis is a relaxed state, very peaceful. It was interesting and so very, and trust is important. I will do it again. I agree, Charles. I think everyone should do it. It's so amazing. But you have to have the right person and they have to ask the right questions because someone else did it and I watched it and they were fast forwarding like 10 years. Now where do you see yourself? Who are you with? You know, where do you live? Do you have family members? Are you with, did you get married? Did you have children? Whatever. And then they fast forwarded all the way to the day of their death.
Mhm.
And I was like, there's so much you're missing. There's so much you're missing that you could have known about. I would want to know more.
Right.
How did you die?
I would want to go back so many times and find out
Yeah.
every detail. Every detail.
Well, I want to
Okay,
let
I'm
you
just
guys
curious
know.
because
Oh, I was just going to say tomorrow night we're going to have Todd and Carmela on as
no
my guest.
way. The
Yeah.
Team Coco.
So
Tune into Ron's show tomorrow night
yeah,
for Todd
We're-
and Carmela.
we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. And
What time are they on?
10 p.m. Eastern for intermission transmission. We normally do 2 hours, but who knows what happens when we're talking. It's a Friday night. We might go a little longer.
You said it, mouthful.
Yeah. But,
For sure.
yeah,
For
so
sure.
every time I'm sitting here talking to you, and I keep hearing noises in the house.
But do
And,
your lights flicker?
Well, no, they don't.
Mine stopped.
The bathroom light flickers, okay, but this one here, like I said, there's like smoke that goes in front of it. Even like with the TV, you know, it'll go from the light here and it'll go in front of the TV. I can definitely tell there's a disturbance. I don't feel anything negative, but it would have to be a dark smoke to cover the light. You know what I mean?
Right. No, you wouldn't see it. I hear you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't scare me, and it doesn't feel negative. It's just letting me know, hey, we're here.
That is cool.
So I'm okay with that as long as you don't bother me when I'm sleeping.
Well,
See, I have half the house got the entryways salted, so they can only stay in one half of the house. And if they come here, they have to go through the floor of the ceiling or through the front of the house or something. They can't come through to the other side. So
Well,
so that way, and believe it or not, that works. Salt works. I was like, what? How does that even work? And that's not
what is
really
going on?
that's not a fable. That's a real thing. Salt does work. Has some kind of energy that,
Well, as long as it works for you,
yeah.
because then you feel more comfortable. It's your home.
Oh yeah.
Todd,
Well,
Todd, it's not you. Again, I'm sorry. The audience is just really being hilarious tonight.
well,
Jenny, Todd, it's Todd. It's all Todd.
Todd, it's all your
said,
fault.
Todd said, Jenny, lights flickering. Okay, voice saying, get out in Eddie Murphy's voice. Time to go.
What was that?
Todd's
The other night when a few weeks ago when I had you and Anthony on, and you were both seeing the shadow. Now I don't see the shadow behind me now, but you were both seeing the shadow behind me.
you.
That was like, you know,
Not
Andy.
too creepy.
Andy from the UK keeps telling me, Ron, you have someone behind you, and of course I always look, right?
I don't see anything now.
I have a shirt that says, it's right behind me, isn't it? I love it. I love it.
All right, Oofy has one more
Anyway.
thing there.
Yes.
So, Ron,
And
are
you
you
suggest-
suggesting the Bonneville salt flats can have no ghosts?
No. The salt actually is meant to deter evil energy, not positive energy. So as far as I know of, the positive energy can still come through, but they're not going to bother me like the evil or negative energy would. Okay.
As long as you're comfortable, that's all I think. I always
Well, before
think
that, I would have a
end
lot
is-
of activity here, right beside me and right around me, and everything like that. I mean, they weren't keeping me up at night, but I knew they were here. You know.
Definitely.
And so, I mean, they'd be shaking my chair. I'd be sitting here, my chair would start shaking, and it's like, we don't have earthquakes here. Well, we have
no,
had
and I've
one.
heard stuff at your house, definitely.
But yeah,
For
so,
sure.
I put the salt down. I put a cup and a couple of bowls of salt in it, around, and just to see what would happen. I got my table full of crystals over there, and the activity slowed down a little bit, but I still know that someone's here. And again, we try to entertain them with the apps that I use on the computer, and whether that's calling them in or whatever it's doing, I don't know. But the thing is, if I don't do that, then they get really ramped up and they're more active. So, and I don't know, that's
No, I
good.
hear you. You have to
I'd
maintain
rather,
a balance always. Oh, it's
yeah.
Carmela. Todd says it's not him. Sure, it's not. No,
Right.
not sweet Carmela. Sweet Carmela would never.
All
I
right.
I think it could be Carmela, to be honest with
I know.
you.
I'm kidding. I'm just. It's just. I thought it was ladies' night before Ron came on. Anyway.
It's ladies' night.
Yeah. Intent is everything. I would say it's more than important, or else it's everything. And that's what I
Well,
meant by before. When if this lemon makes you feel protected, then it's protecting you.
yeah,
That's my talisman.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
going to
I
be
think
carrying a
it's.
lemon around in your pants now.
Well, there's something I saw about
It was the only
lemons.
thing I could reach.
I saw that about lemons
There's
before.
one
You
for
cut it
all of
in.
you.
You
I
cut
did
a
not.
cut a lemon in quarters, and you cover it with salt, and you put it in the area where it is, where you think the energy is. And then if it's
Yes.
negative energy, then the lemon attracts it, and then you'll notice that when the salt turns dark, okay,
Oh, right. Of
and the
course. Yeah.
lemon turns dark, then you got to go take it off your property and go and burn it
Bury it.
someplace.
Right.
You don't want to burn it on your property because then the smoke comes back in your house and it's right back. But you want to
Right.
do it away from your property. And so, like, you go to a barbecue at a park or something like that, and you burn the lemon there so it doesn't follow you back home. Now, I haven't tried that yet, but that would be interesting to try just to see if that works or not. But I did try the salt thing, and it does seem to work, and it's amazing. Any salt works; it doesn't matter. And again, I'm
Listen,
sure.
we have
Sure.
7 minutes, and I
We
am
have
Oh,
not
7
going to
minutes.
Bobby on my ass for this.
uh-oh.
No.
Oh,
No.
well, thank you, Maureen, for having us on tonight, and thank you, Jenny,
Thanks,
Yes.
for
guys,
Thank
for
you.
coming in with
jumping
me.
in.
I appreciate it.
And we got to
Thank
have
you.
your guest back, though, and we got to have her back again.
I know.
Uh,
She said she felt bad. She tried to get in and she couldn't. There's
well, so,
something wrong with the energy and
Clearly.
whatever.
yeah, and my internet quit, so I got on my phone and got on here with the phone internet,
Well, I'm glad to
uh,
see everybody. Hi,
yeah,
everybody.
and
Thanks
this
for
is
having
fun.
me.
And we're gonna have fun tomorrow night with Todd and Carmela. Just remember that.
I'll stop in
So
and visit.
if you're able to, if you want to jump on and say hi to everyone, you can do that then too.
Anthony and I will try to
Yeah.
do a quick.
You know me. I
We'll
always
do a
do.
quick.
I always do the open round table thing. Anyone's welcome. Main guests, of course, are the primary focus, but
Mhm.
I don't mind having a big table full of people. I always say round table, but of course we don't have any table here. But
So maybe it's square.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
There you go.
but I
So
always
I
think,
guess
yeah, but
tonight we learned about solar flares. Todd and Carmela. Thank you, Todd and Carmela, for the solar
and
flares.
Andy, look at that.
Yeah. Ron's solar and I also have light bulbs blow, and my husband's like, not again. He gets mad.
I have to replace cell phones, computers, tablets,
watches. I can't wear a watch.
I don't
Yeah.
wear a watch. I wear my bracelet. You got to get one of these bracelets. This
Yeah.
will protect you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anything that's electronic.
See that?
I can't wear a watch.
See that?
Thanks,
They
Todd
just-
and Carmela.
break.
Have a good night.
Yeah, bye guys. It was
All right,
fun.
thank you.
So thank you for watching. As usual, this is Dimensions of the Supernatural. You never know what's going to happen here. Thursday nights, 7:30 to 9:30, with some guests, no guests, whatever.
Someone will be here.
Somebody will be here, but you never know who it's going to be.
Right.
So we will see you next Thursday. Patrick Cross will be here. He is a TV personality and paranormal investigator from Canada, and
right.
he's excited to be with us. So we will see him as well, and watch for Ron, Todd, and Carmela tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Bobby's next. Don't forget to tune
On
in
Mixler, over on Mixler, yeah.
on Mixler.
Yeah.
So we will see you then. Thank you guys for watching. And as usual,
night.
forget about it.
Forget about it. Good
Peace
night,
out.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye.